The update details are now here for the new global update 2.22. Downtime will be about 5 hours starting at the usual times August the 6th, that being August the 7th for us in EU, and we can confirm it will bring the return of the Tevent guild raid, along with the Lucky Mystic Portal event, the Sword and Shield PvP nerfs, and a lot of other fixes. I also want to have a quick look at the new tombstones we should be getting, how you can equip them, how they work, and also the new display of the stat caps. But those have not been confirmed for us in Global. So let's go through everything you need to know. They confirm here for 2 weeks we'll be able to fight Tevent as a guild raid. This has been balanced for a smaller group of players to tackle, and you can only enter twice per week. Killing him will guaranteed drop a tier 2 armor piece, a tier 2 accessory, and a tier 2 nebula accessory that isn't from a nebula boss. They've also added now these Ashen Tevent fragments, so you'll be able to save them up to potentially upgrade your Tevent Archboss weapon. Good news for me as I plan to upgrade the Tevent wand. But then the Mystic Portal Treasure Hunt, well, it just seems an exact rerun of what we've had before. But if I look at the Korean server notes, they nicely have the loot tables listed, and those golden treasure chests will now have a chance to give you those Archboss fragments, whether Queen Belandir Tevent, the Snowflowers for Jalazanoa, or the Cordy branches. So it may definitely be a little bit improved here for us on the global server, despite them not saying anything. Then we have a lot of general fixes. They're increasing the artifact inventory. This is now 300 by default, and you can increase that by a further 200 slots. I hope you can get 100 with Solent. You will now properly be able to get summer splash coins by killing enemies while you have the buff from the whale. This would be applicable for your Abyss dungeons. Try and align it for when the whale is up. You can see the buff just here, lasts another 10 minutes, and it claims that it should allow you to obtain splash coins by defeating monsters. This was bugged for us and just wasn't giving anything. They fixed a bug with Belandir where she could get stuck, and an exploit with Tevent where you could attack him from an unintended safe location during PvP. This bug has been persisting forever. People have just been very creative finding new spots. Basically allowed you to get contribution on the boss, and people couldn't reset that contribution because you technically were not in a PvP zone and you were still attacking the boss. So you would have a lot of uptime on attacking with no reset. The higher the contribution, the more likely you actually get those drops. But then, yes, the Sword and Shield nerfs. Removing the damage reduction effect from defending a fury attack with your defense skill, simply that effect is gone, but you will now gain 20% of max health as a shield whenever you do get that perfect block. Additionally, they're changing up Stalwart Bastion, reducing its duration from 9 seconds to 6 seconds, and also making it just like Blood Devotion, where your targets can no longer gain the effect of Bastion for 45 seconds after gaining it. So they will get a debuff after they've been affected by Bastion, as you can see just here. Nicely, the debuff starts exactly when you cast it, so buff duration will help with regards to being able to extend this duration and then make it a bit quicker before you can actually reapply it. But if you have enough cooldown, be aware of this debuff and don't cast Bastion again until that debuff expires, except it's actually done pretty smart here. It displays on the Bastion that timer of the debuff before you should cast it again. We'll cast Bastion here again and you see what I mean. It shows the 45-second duration of the debuff and no longer the duration of the actual effect. But this is both a nerf for PvP and PvE, more so PvP because of that damage reduction. It was good against crossbows, peppering you with all those little hits, because damage reduction is a direct counter to bonus damage. So in any other scenario, this won't really have resulted in much. If you take 10,000 damage, you reduce that by 100 through Stalwart Bastion. That's just 100 minus 10,000. That's nothing. In PvE, the main nerf is the fact you won't be able to cast that skill damage increase for your team as often, along with the duration now being decreased. And I can confirm you do gain the skill damage boost, the 75, you can see it now, it's gone, while you use Righteous Fury. I believe they broke on the Greatsword with Blood Devotion, the damage increase effect. If you have this paired with the Greatsword's Fortified Unity, then it won't work. You can't gain Fortified Unity and the damage buff for some reason from Blood Devo. And it doesn't look like this update will be fixing that. But let me know if it does. Those of you on controller will be happy to note they have fixed a bug where you had rune slots. You would try to change a slot to a different type and it would just change a different one. So they were wasting a lot of solent on that. Another thankful fix is combat settings. If you went and tried to rename these, they were just bugging out on you. They removed the error where earrings were listed to have lithographs when none can actually be made into lithographs yet. And they fixed that bug in the Desert Star shop where it would show the incorrect weapon skin when selecting daggers, crossbow staffs or longbows. You will now properly be able to purchase title weapons and skill core imprint scrolls from the Summer Splash shop. And the event pass should properly give you 2 abundance fruit and mastery reports, along with dimensional contract tokens when you purchase them from that event battle pass shop. Finally, some cosmetic fixes, fixing the shield of the Azure Moon so your hand won't clip through it, the Eternal Archer headpiece where it could be dyed silver and then your hair would appear translucent, fixing tattoos on the Summer Splash outfit, and the morph. They fixed an issue where the Iron Shark was not available in the morph menu. This is obtained through the dimensional trials here. This is the Korean server, so can't show you that there, but this is how that Iron Shark should look like. And we should all be able to then equip it properly if we have those 40,000 points. So yes, plenty of fixes here, and the return nicely of the Tevent Archboss raid, where you can obtain new upgrade materials. I don't know how many you will get as a guaranteed drop, or if it's just chance based and all goes to the guild bank and then you can distribute it to who needs them the most. Unfortunately, the drop rates are not listed here, but I assume it will be the same way as the Tevent soul fragments, although they seem to be a bit more generous with the ashen fragments, as you can see via the participation rewards. When you go to those frenzied arch bosses, you get 4 guaranteed, +1 basically on peace, no matter your rank, and then up to +3 if you're rank 6 or better. Quickly checking the Korean patch notes, we can see, did they miss anything for us on global? Yes, they didn't mention at all the tombstones. Maybe we won't be getting them just yet. But here on the Korean server, if I check the shop, they are selling them for a varying amount of lucent. 500 for this one, 400 for this, the same for this one, and then just 300 for this one. And you should be able to select them in your Mirror Boutique, Appearance Effects, and you have 2 slots, PvE Tombstone Appearance and PvP Tombstone Appearance. So when you put one in PvP, this is going to be what is displayed whenever you kill somebody. So you are changing their tombstone. They will see that their tombstone is of what you chose it to be. And if you have PvE selected, that's simply for your own tombstone whenever you die to a PvE enemy. They also got the return of this Harvest Moon outfit, and then these stat caps. I believe these could just be tooltip updates and not necessarily something new. We may have had this cap all along, it just wasn't displayed. You can see it now does say, decreases cooldown of skills up to 200%, attack speed up to 150%, buff duration up to 150%. I assume they're doing this now because it's actually getting pretty achievable to reach those values when you stack everything with all this new legendary gear. And then we'll probably be getting legendary accessories which can increase these values further. Other than that, they don't seem to have missed all too much. I'm genuinely surprised why they didn't mention the tombstones when they have done so before in the Ion Silesium. But that's it for this one. A special thank you to all these channel members for your extra support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.